I wish people knew that my life is different than theirs, but I wear it well.
I'm constantly thinking ahead when all I want to be thinking about is right now.
I wish my family could understand, but I wish my friends would try harder too.
I wish friends could understand.
I wish people knew that I didn't do this to myself.
I wish people knew that life is so precious to people with type 1 diabetes.
I'm Abby Greytrax and I'm type 1 diabetic. I either tell people that I've got diabetes straight away, or I either just pull out my injection and inject and they sort of figure it out. It's not really something that I try and hide. It would be rather difficult that way because I eat a lot and I go out a lot, so injecting myself is sort of a key thing to maintain both of those. So most people know about it. If they don't, they figure it out in a few months.
I was first diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when I was 9. I don't remember being 9, so I can't remember my life before having diabetes. And when I was diagnosed, I remember feeling really scared. I didn't know anything about it, I'd never even heard of it. And the way that I was explained to, I remember thinking that I was only allowed to eat rich tea biscuits and bananas for the rest of my life, because it was really badly explained by the specialist.
I was 11 when I was diagnosed. Funnily enough, it was like 2 weeks into high school. So started off, ended up in hospital on my second week. So the whole making friends thing was difficult. Because I was so young, because I was 11, I thought it was a really good thing because I basically got told that I could eat sugary food whenever I was low. So I always saw it as an upside and an excuse to buy chocolate. I didn't know what the true implications for it were until like later life.
Since I've had it 12 years, my family have been my rock, especially my mum. She's fought so hard for me to get the best care and the best treatment. When I was first diagnosed, I was in a hospital and they were sort of 10 years behind all the treatment, and I was put on 2 injections a day, which is the worst care that you can get, especially for a 9-year-old. So eventually I went up to 4 injections, which is slightly better. And then finally my mum got me to go to another hospital where I got my insulin pump, and that's just completely changed my life. When I was on injections, I'd have to have my injections at a set time every day, and with a pump it's just so flexible. I could have a midnight snack and it'd be fine. It's constantly there, which some people think, oh, you've always got it, it's always attached to you, but to me it's just there, it's just part of me.
I'd say the most difficult part of being diabetic is keeping up with everything. There's a lot to do. I'm on tablets for different things. I inject myself, I have to do a blood monitoring test every single time. And it just gets too much, especially when you eat more than you should, because this is based off your 3 meals a day. Well, maybe 4 including supper. But I, obviously as a student, get loads of snacks and it's just repeating the process on and it never seems to end. which is kind of what I want to happen. Like, I'm constantly scrolling through Google to find, like, see if there's any cures, and they always say that there is, and seldom do they ever come through. Sometimes it's difficult to carry on with something that you think is not going to end well anyway, which sounds really pessimistic and really bad, but it's the truth of it.
I wish people knew that diabetes is not caused by eating too much sugar. I wish that people wouldn't comment on me eating what I want to eat. So instead of having one biscuit, I'd normally have about 5, and people see this as being really wrong. Whereas if I have enough insulin and test my blood sugar when I need to, it's completely fine, just like anyone else. I do feel quite stressed about my diabetes sometimes. It was bad, especially when I was in my teens, because all my friends were just normal, and then there was me having to bring a bag of provisions with me in case something happened.
To be fair though, there's not really much anybody can do. When I'm hypo or hypoglycemic, which is when my blood sugars are low, I usually try and sort it out myself because I don't like burdening other people with it. I feel like they're thinking I'm making it all up and all this, like the way that I'm feeling, because it honestly feels like you're running a marathon and you've not caught any breath, and it's really, you've got one focus in your mind. And honestly, when it's that situation, I don't really think about other people. Like, I'm kind of self-centered in that sense, because all that's going through my mind is get something to eat, otherwise you're gonna basically collapse. My mum really worries about me, because when I go to bed early, sometimes I'm really shattered from uni or something like that, and I'll go to bed at 8 p.m. and she'll come into my room at 9 p.m. and she'll be like, what are you doing and all this, and she'll be threatening to phone like the hospital and ambulance because she thinks it's something related to my diabetes. Yeah, so she's very concerned. She doesn't understand it fully, like most people won't in their lifetime, but she tries to, and she just wants to make sure I'm okay.
My control from when I was 9 to now has changed a lot. Over the past 2 years I've moved out of mum and dad's house, and I've got all the responsibility to myself, which probably isn't a very good thing. My mum used to do everything for me, and when she did, my control was amazing. I was one of the best patients in the hospital, whereas now it's not great. Like, my boyfriend Endav, he started to do things for me, and I find it's just a massive relief. I first told my boyfriend Endav about my diabetes a few weeks into our relationship. I had to tell him because I was having a hypo and I needed him to go to the shop for me, which he did, to get me some Lucozade. I didn't think it was important to tell him right at the beginning because I wanted him to get to know me first as a normal person, just in case he was scared off by the fact I had a lifelong illness, which luckily he wasn't. So as you know, I don't inject. I have to put a Setsin, which is a little cannula that goes on my tummy. It's just like a little tiny needle with a little tube around it that just sits on my tummy all the time. I remember when I first did it, he was a bit wary because it sounds really fierce when it goes in, but it's not that bad. Anyway, one day he agreed to let me put one on him. After he did it, I think it made him feel a lot more at ease, knowing that I wasn't really going through as much pain as he thought I might have been.
used to have this massive fear because I almost went into a hypoglycemic coma, but I was really unaware of my surroundings. It felt like a dream. It was basically an emergency, except my mum forced Coke down my mouth instead because she had no idea what to do. And that was my biggest fear for ages, going to sleep and just not waking up, because it felt like that at the time. It just felt like I was in a constant state of paralysis and I had no control over my body, which is the worst thing ever, probably. Not being able to move and do what you want. And I ended up like kicking her and stuff like that, fighting her off me, because in my mind I was having a dream that I was being attacked by someone. I was aware that it was her, I was aware what she was trying to do, but at the same time my subconscious took over. I just wish people understood it more, my diabetes. I don't wish that they knew a particular thing about it, just understood it. If I say I'm shaky, just give me my time or know what to do in that situation. Just understand it more, like raise awareness on it.